Good Sunday morning and welcome to WGN TV Political Report. I'm Paul Lisnick. We begin this morning at City Hall, where a crucial financial deadline is looming just ahead. Mayor Brandon Johnson continues pushing Chicago Public Schools to reimburse the city for a $175 million pension payment. If it doesn't happen by next week, Chicago could close its 2024 budget with a deficit. At the same time, CPS leaders will need to figure out how to pay for a new contract with the Chicago Teachers Union. The Board of Education postponed a vote on that issue. The negotiations still underway. 28th Ward Alderman and Chairman of the Budget Committee, Jason Ervin, joins me this morning. Alderman, good to see you. Thanks for being with me.
Thank you for having me.
So it's like, as viewers, it's like we're watching two screens here. We've got these negotiations going on between CPS and CTU for a contract to get underway. At the same time, there's all this debt and borrowing and refinancing and loans that is getting talked about as well. Can you talk about how these things are actually interdependent?
Unfortunately, many of the finances of CPS are intertwined with the city of Chicago. Keep in mind that back in 1995, when Mayor Daley at the time went to the Illinois State Legislature to get control of CPS, a lot of things were kind of brought together in a sense of trying to keep things making things work. Today, we're unwinding a lot of that process. So while we have things that the city is doing to the tune of almost $1.25 billion in support to CPS, there are certain things that they need to do in order for us to continue working in a harmonious way.
And I mentioned the things about the loans. We have the mayor who wants the district to pick up $175 million pension payment. Those are for non-teaching staff. And that's got to happen by the end of March, or the city either has to go into its reserves or end the year in the red. I guess a couple things about that. How critical is that? And number two, is the mayor right in expecting the school district to pick this up?
So let's keep in mind the school district has picked up this charge for the last 5 years, beginning back in 2020. They began to pick this up as we talked about the unwinding of CPS finances with the city of Chicago. But keep in mind that the city of Chicago, the total obligation of CPS is $452 million. And the city's asking them for $175 million when originally, according to the schedule, it was to be $300 million. So we have taken some considerable pains in reducing the liability that they really owe, and that's their responsibility. Again, asking for a little over a quarter of what it is that they owe for their employees that the city does not control. We don't control their salary. We don't control anything about the cost of them, but we're just constantly giving the bill for this. So again, I think the 175 is actually a pretty good deal for CPS.
And by the way, as we know, half the school board elected, it'll eventually all be elected. There are those who think that once the school board is completely elected, that's going to change the dynamics as to who should be responsible for what. You agree with that?
I do believe that once those dynamics do change, that the city wants, it's like saying, hey, I want half the cow. No, you take the entire cow. I understand that we want to work with the city again because these constituents are the same constituents that we serve as the city of Chicago. So it's in our best interest for everyone to work together to come to an equitable solution. But again, the school district must begin to take on some of the responsibilities since it wants to call all of its own shots. It wants to do all of its own things. You have to take in your responsibility with that.
Well, let me ask you a little bit more about this pension payment issue. If the mayor should lose out on that issue, talk a bit about what the impact on the city budget's going to be. I already said you'd have to dip in reserves, but or close in the red. But how important is that? And is it the situation where the city will have to just keep fronting the money and hope to recapture it later? Is it a paper issue? Is it a real issue?
This is a accounting issue right now. This is an accounting issue as it relates to 2024. I mean, legally, under state law, the city of Chicago is responsible for this particular payment for CPS employees. But again, back in 2020, it was agreed that CPS will begin to take on a portion of their responsibility as they wean themselves off of city support with the anticipation of the fully elected board. So again, we want to make sure that they're, keeping their books properly, doing what they need to do, and at the same time understanding what their costs are. And as I said, the city of Chicago supports CPS to the tune of almost $1.25 billion in this year alone. When we look at the pension payment, the capital things, the bonds that we pay for, the services that we give them for free, it totals almost $1.25 billion. So again, to say that we're not trying to be helpful to CPS is just wrong. And again, asking CPS to just take on a small portion of their pension liability is not, I don't think is a wrong thing. Imagine someone giving you $1.25 and say, hey, can you give me 17 cents back? I don't think that's a bad deal, but evidently folks over there do think it is. And while they're trying to solve their issues, they can't solve their issues at the expense of their partner, because in that case, I think everybody loses. And what I don't want to personally see happen is where we begin to go tit for tat with CPS, because at the end of the day, the kids lose, the citizens lose in those types of conversations, because again, these are the same people that we all represent.
And I understand the dynamics you're talking about. I just want to go back to that impact for a moment. If it doesn't get resolved, are we talking about meetings next week, city council having to sit down, figure out what to do because the end of the month is almost here?
No, because this is purely an account. We can't go back and unwind and undo what happened in 2024. At the end of this conversation, this is an accounting issue that the comptroller and his team will have to make an accounting adjustment to the books of the city of Chicago to account for the lack of payment if that indeed what happens. I'm hopeful and believe that CPS will honor its obligation and pay the 175. Mind you, we sent them $300 million this year and TIF surplus. So the money is there. They have to make decisions as it relates to their budget and as it relates to their costs. And again, these are items that were known very early on in their 2024 budgeting process. This time last year, they knew they had this payment coming up. They knew they had the teacher negotiations going up. Unfortunately, they sat on their hands and did not do anything. I think CPS leaderships need to be held accountable for the fact that they didn't budget for this, created this, manufactured this crisis that we're now facing. Now everybody's scrambling to figure it out when they knew well in advance that this was coming and did nothing to create new revenue, did nothing to cut expenses. But at the end, 99 Fire wants to hand everybody else their bill. That's not fair to the taxpayers. It's not fair to anybody, because this could have been dealt with had it been adequately planned for.
I think I'm hearing you say there's not a desire here to dip into reserves.
There's never a desire to dip into
or that
reserves,
you won't.
because again, that's what we keep those for. Catastrophic events. This is not a catastrophic event. This is something that we knew about. This is something that they knew about, that they were going to have to deal with, but just more or less held the ball to the 99th hour and put us in this position where we may have to make an accounting adjustment that's not going to be favorable to our balance sheet.
On Wednesday, you were in a meeting that involved Pedro Martinez and a variety of players. It apparently was a bit contentious. You were there. Can you share with us where was the anger? What was happening?
Let me just, for the record, I was not in the meeting. I was invited to the meeting. I was, even though I was not in the meeting. However, I do understand from the meeting that it's very clear to me that this is something that is solvable. My understanding is that they're $9 million apart, plus maybe benefit payments on money, 5 minutes in prep time, and teacher evaluations that will only impact 300 teachers in this conversation. So to me, that is a deal that can be done. The question is the will there to get it done? And I think that the leadership of the mayor and his team, working with both CTU, working with the board, and work with the CEO, this should be done in a matter of days if these are the only items, as I understand them, that need to be dealt with. So I'm hopeful that before kids come back off of spring break, this issue will be resolved.
All right, Alderman Jason River, we're going to keep up with you and see how it all develops out. And I appreciate your time. Thank you. Have a good Sunday morning. Appreciate your time, sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right. We're going to take our first break up next on WGN-TV Political Report.
We're going to be returning education very simply back to the states where it belongs.
President Trump moves to eliminate the Department of Education, the differing reactions from the governors of Illinois and Indiana. And later, a doomsday scenario for Chicago Transit, the latest warning from local agencies who want Springfield to fill a major budget deficit. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.